and welcome to episode 75 of the Unwrapped Leader Podcast, where we get raw, real, and relevant in the new network marketing and helping you become a gifted leader in your business. My name is Teisha Dorianna from Canada.
And I'm Dracy Dewar from Australia.
And today's episode, we are talking about attracting your ideal audience and building a personal brand in network marketing. This is something that is so important, no matter if you are brand new to the business or if you've been around for a while and maybe you're struggling a little bit. This is going to be a huge learning lesson for you. So make sure you guys keep watching this episode. And so before we dive into this topic today, we quickly just want to share that we sent out a newsletter earlier today, and this episode's going to be airing in a couple days because we're filming in advance. So we sent out a newsletter a couple days ago when you're listening to this, and we haven't really sent a newsletter out in a little while. Dracy and I have been so busy. We kind of did a little bit of reconnecting in there, talking about what we've been up to. And so we're excited to kind of dive right back into that, start bringing some life to our Facebook community as well. And we even put a freebie in there because we wanted to share some love with you guys since it's been some time. And we will be talking a little bit more about the freebie as well at the end of this episode. So make sure you guys do tune in till the end. But it just felt good to get a newsletter out there, give you guys a little update, a little life update and what's to come. And we have just some excellent things coming to you guys in the future. So again, the Facebook community is called Gifted Leaders. We'll drop it in the show notes, the link, so you guys can go check it out. But we're happy to get back on track with that. We've been consistent with our podcast every single week, whether it be both Dracy and I, or whether it be myself or Dracy solo. We've been kind of helping each other out, as the summer's passed and, now going into the holiday season. I know Dracy was away, and it was kind of like perfect timing in the sense where I was away for a week and Dracy was home, and then Dracy would leave when I would get back. And so we were kind of going back and forth, playing a little bit of ping pong with the podcast. But I'm excited to be doing this episode, Dracy, with you together finally again. I think it's been a couple of weeks.
I know. We're just saying, geez, it feels like it's been a while since we've done a podcast, but our last one together was for Halloween. So we did our social media is scary. So we had a chance to do that, but it's really good that we can connect. And I know you and I on our last call, and we've been consistent on our weekly coaching calls with each other. We've been consistent on our podcast. We've been consistent on our social media, but we were really reflecting on what have we not been so consistent in. That was our newsletter and our Facebook group. So, and again, identifying that allows us now to kind of say, okay, how do we want to make this more important and prioritize it? And so I'm really excited. I'm going to be popping on live into our Facebook group after this. And I know you're going to be doing it next week. So if you're listening in at this time, check out that Facebook group and see what it is that we've been sharing in there.
Yeah, exactly. We really love sharing. We love making the newsletter. We love going live, giving you guys some free value in there. So make sure you guys do go check it out. And now we are rolling up to Black Friday, which is a really big deal for so many network marketing companies across the globe. And so now more than ever, you're going to want to understand your ideal audience. And hopefully these tips you could take with you into this upcoming weekend for Black Friday. If your company has a promo, or maybe you're running your own promos, take these tips and run with them for the weekend. And hopefully they're going to help generate more sales, more leads, and more growth for your business. So let's dive into it. I'm going to quickly kind of go over just understanding your ideal audience. And then Dracy's going to kind of dive into crafting your personal brand, which is so important to have in an industry like this when there's thousands of other people doing the exact same thing as you. So when you're understanding your ideal audience, you want to find your ideal client through social media. Maybe it's in person, but it's really crucial to understand who they are, because that's when you could begin identifying things like, for example, the demographics, the interests that they have, the pain points that your product or service can solve. And when you start to uncover those things in your target audience, you know exactly who you're speaking to, and you're way more likely to generate possible leads and people that you meet into buying customers, into maybe a potential downline member down the road, and even just, cultivate those friendships and genuine relationships that could take take you to referrals down the road. Like, it's all about just creating those genuine relationships and strengthening your network. So you want to ask yourself, like, what problems can you solve for them? So when you think about your products, don't just think about all the features and benefits that your products have to offer. You want to think about the pain points associated with the product. So what does the product actually solve? Like, maybe you have something for energy, rather than, just saying it'll help you with energy. What is energy going to do for your ideal client, right? Who's buying an energy product? Is it maybe, a mom who's exhausted and tired after, running around with their kids all day? And then, what is that energy going to do for them? Is it going to help them power through the day without a nap? Is it going to help them, get a 5-star meal whipped up at the end of the day? Whatever it is, like, those are the things. It's the stories that you want to tell so that people can relate to something on a whole new level, right? It's one thing to say it'll help you with energy. It's another thing to say a very specific example of what that energy will do for them. So think about it in a deeper sense when you think about the problems that your product or service can solve. Also, you want to ask yourself, how can your network marketing business provide value? So this is a little bit more, talking about your business, not necessarily your product alone, but anyone who's interested in maybe that extra income opportunity. So, share the value around what the business has done for you, what the business has done for your team members, right? And how it's made them feel, what their life looked like before getting started, what it looks like now. And you'll be able to find, like, okay, my ideal audience are, maybe it's moms that are looking for an extra income stream so they could be at home with their kids. Like, think of all the different types of people on your team. There's so many different types of people. I think the more stories you could have up in your bank, the more that you can, I guess, regurgitate when you're having those recruiting conversations with people. You could think of a story or an example that can relate to them, even if it's not you, but someone It's so important to have those stories. And that's how you could understand, like, who your ideal audience is, whether they're looking for the business, whether they're looking for the product. Just dig a little bit deeper into those stories. So you want to attract your ideal audience because, it's crucial in network marketing. It allows you to focus your efforts on the people most likely to be interested in your products or services, right? And one thing that I was told years ago, and it just stuck with me, was if you're talking to everybody, you're really talking to nobody. You want to really wean in on that one person that you can help. Of course, you might look at your brand and your products and think, I could help absolutely everybody. But if your message is saying, I help everybody with everything, you're not actually talking to anybody. You want to talk to that one person that needs help with that one thing. And a lot of times it's something that, a part of the reason that maybe you came in, or part of your why, those are the people that you can really help because you have experienced that yourself. It doesn't mean you can't help other people. And trust me, you're still going to attract people that maybe you don't talk about. Like, let's say your, ideal client is normally women. That doesn't mean you're not going to attract any men if your business does speak to men in some sort. But by being very specific, you are more likely to reach more people and the type of people that you actually want. So remember that if you're speaking to everybody, you're really speaking to nobody. And so you want to understand their needs, their preferences, their pain points that, like we talked about. And this way you can tailor your marketing messages, your content that you're putting out to them, and all your strategies so that they resonate with them effectively. And the best way to resonate with someone, again, is through those stories, not through just features and benefits and, perks and quick little bullet points. You want to share stories. So as many stories as you can remember, the more you could learn about team members, even people in your sidelines that you work alongside. Knowing their stories is so important so that you could bring that up in later conversations. And again, it just fosters long-term loyalty, advocacy, so that you can get those referrals down the road. Even if, you meet someone and you have a really good relationship with them, and maybe they don't become a customer or someone on your team down the road. That's not why we network. It's so important to be, fall in love with the process here and to genuinely be interested in someone, genuinely be interested in helping someone. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be for everyone, but just know that that person could be an advocate for you. That person will be your connector that'll connect you to other people, will refer you to other people just because of your kindness and how you've helped them, even if it was in ways that, your business couldn't provide maybe, but something else did. So you want to build strong relationships because it's going to help establish that trust. It's going to help position yourself as a trusted authority. And that ultimately is what's going to lead to sustainable business growth and success. So that is why understanding your ideal audience is going to be very, very important here. So Dracy, I'm going to pass it on to you to talk a little bit about crafting your personal brand.
Well, thank you. And that was a wealth of information just in that in itself. And I think I like that word you used, regurgitate. That was like a really big word. But it's so true in the things that we say. And, we just want to repeat the same message over and over. And it's so true. So it's just finding out what those few simple messages that you have. It's not a big message. It's just a few simple messages. And so before you can really attract that ideal audience, you need to be able to craft your own personal brand. And you will see right now, Teisha and I have taken so much passion in branding and social media around our network marketing industry, around leadership, around building community, and around ourselves being brave and confident. And we know that's kind of how we've kind of pulled ourselves together as we've created our brand. But your personal brand is absolutely essential in this business, especially in our network marketing business, because it is so much noise out there. There's so many people, more and more people wanting to share their passions through their products, through social media. And that is a great thing. Just know that that is a great thing, because the network marketing industry is growing faster than ever before, because people are looking for solutions. The people are financial pain, physical pain, mental pain, and yet network marketing really gives that strategy. And so for you to stand out, you need to really craft that personal brand. And I'm going to talk about this. You'll see on our social media, we're having a lot of fun right now. I even did a podcast. My last podcast was about standing out in a crowd, and it really inspired me about talking about flamingo marketing. And so go and check that one out. And so you'll see, if you go see our social media, we're going to really start talking about why be in a flock of seagulls when you can actually be a flamingo. And so a flock of seagulls, like I just really think about that. And so go and check out what we got coming for you around that. But it really comes down to you exploring yourself personally, how you can create a personal brand that resonates with your audience. And so just a few things is what you need to really do is define that personal brand for you. And just three real pain points, not pain points, three real points around your personal brand, if you should pull it up in a nutshell, is your values, your passions, and what are you an expertise in, and what are you actually known for. And when you can actually take that time to do that, we even put that into an Unwrap Your Brand Masterclass to really help expand on that. But I know this is why we kind of put together our freebie at the end to really help you, again, 5 simple steps to unwrap your brand. But just to bring it, hone it down for you is, what is it that you are known for? What is it, the thing that kind of makes you, you, and how can you really express that through your personal branding, as well as our values. We talk about, Teisha and I, like, about leading the way and being of service and being brave. Like, these are things that we like to talk about. And to do that, we had to do that on social media. And that's something that I was not necessarily good at, or, really wanted to be a part of. But as we learn to do these messaging and really putting together what our passions are, it gets easier and easier to show up online. It gets easier and easier to create your brand when you can kind of take some intention and really work out what is the impact that you really want to make. The second thing I really wanted to talk about was just consistency across your platforms. Now, we know there's lots of different platforms out there, and it can actually be really overwhelming. But you really just want to get good at 2 or 3 really good platforms to really get good at. But what we're talking about consistency is, we're just talking about consistency of your actual profile picture being the same, being consistent on all those platforms, and a way to stand out. And so another one is also your bio, that your bio is consistent, and you've been able to work out a magnetic bio that attracts people on who you're wanting to help and how you actually help them. And if you can get that consistent, that's a really good step to consistency across the platforms, and then how you can actually connect them and having a strategy around that. So I think that's really important in creating your brand. And then the other one I wanted to say was authenticity. You hear Teisha and I talk about being authentic, how you can be genuine and transparent while you build that trust for your audience. And so I guess that is just really about you showing up. That's about you just being very real, raw, and relevant to your audience. And so much like Teisha and I've made our podcast around those three simple words, being raw, real, and relevant. And people love to follow people who are being honest and being sharing of themselves. Now, I'm not talking about getting on there and sharing everything about yourself, but again, if you work out of those values and those few things that you're passionate about, it gets really easy to know what to talk about. And then that makes number 4 really powerful, is, as Teisha said, was being a storyteller, being able to tell stories that connect with your audience at an emotional level, that makes your brand more personable, but also memorable. And how do you do that? It's a few simple things. Talk about these moments that melt your heart. Talk about the milestones that you've achieved. Share the memories that have lifted you up and that you're so proud to share it out loud, as well as what makes you happy and who have you helped. If you share those kind of things in your storytelling, it'll bring out your authenticity. And if you can do that across all the platforms consistently, and you've defined your values and your passion, you'll be on your way to crafting your own personal brand that is going to be magnetic and attract the people, your ideal audience. So Teisha, why don't you share some strategies to attract your ideal audience?
Yeah, definitely. So now that we have an understanding of like how to find our ideal audience and what that looks like, and then also crafting your brand, I want to leave you guys just with a few strategies. Hopefully you could implement them this weekend for Black Friday if you have something going on for that. But also just implementing them every day in your business is going to be so important. So the first one is content marketing. So the content that you are putting out on your social platforms, whether that be Instagram or Facebook, and how you are actually marketing it to your people. So what you want to be doing in these posts, and I kind of touched on it at the beginning, but it's not just giving all the features and benefits of your products. It's actually addressing your audience's pain points that is associated with maybe your product or service or business opportunity that you are really looking to achieve. So something that will educate them, something that will, again, hit one of their pain points that maybe they're struggling with. And, you have the solution. That's what you want to talk about, is I have the solution to your problem. Just be a problem solver every day in your life, in your content. And this is going to help you position yourself as an expert in your field, and kind of present yourself as an authority as well. So people know that you are a problem solver. You are a resource that they can trust, and they will come to you when they have a problem, maybe inside that niche that you're speaking about, or sometimes even outside, right? Just becoming a trusted resource in one area allows people to, feel, I guess, more trust towards you, so that they can open up or ask questions or come to you with any other of their issues or problems, or just maybe to get your opinion on something. So through your content, remember, are you addressing a pain point? Are you educating them in some kind of way? You could do this. Actually, this brings me to my next one, which is social media engagement. So when you're putting out these posts and this content in your social media platforms, how are you going to get engagement on them? And why do we want engagement? We want engagement because that's what creates opportunities for us to have deeper conversations with people and build stronger connections with people, so that we can convert friends and people that we meet online leads into actual buying customers, or maybe someone, like I said, that connects us to someone who would be a buying customer. And the power of social media in network marketing is insane how many people we could reach, and just people specifically in our ideal audience as well. And so you want to learn how to engage with your audience effectively. And so the one thing that came to mind for me when it comes to social media engagement is having a hook and having a call to action. And we actually have this resource with tons of hooks and call to actions. I don't even know the exact number. I want to say there's like
I think
200 or something.
45. Oh, is it? Okay. I think altogether you're right. I think it was 45 hooks and 45 call to actions. Maybe there's more.
I'm pretty sure it's more. I think there's like more than 100. It's like 180 or something. We put it together a while back. But anyways, it's free in our social media MVP course, and it just helps you come up with ideas for content, and it's something that's going to attract someone to your post right away. And one thing you might notice too is like if you even search, different hooks for social media, you will find like tons of hooks that are directly related to a pain point, right? It's like how I solved my blank, right? Like, and then you would insert the problem there. And it's a problem, again, that your product or service can solve. And so just by hooking someone in, people are immediately engaged and listening because they relate to something, right? It's sometimes known as, actually, if you've heard of this term before, it's called clickbait sometimes. So what is something that is going to get people to click, get people to read more? And so a lot of people use clickbait, and that's all done through a hook that's basically the first thing someone sees when they visit your post, whether that be in the caption or whether that be right in the photo or the reel that you put out. And then having a call to action is what's actually going to get that engagement on your post. So you want to create opportunities for yourself by having a call to action, something that's going to tell people what they should do next. So maybe that call to action is having them join your customer group for more information or fun recipes or fun videos, whatever you're doing in your customer group. Maybe your call to action is just simply to get them to comment something. Like if you were talking about, a particular product that helped you, you could say, which of these problems do you need help with, and see what people comment. And that's kind of your opening your door to send them a message and, check in with them, show genuine interest in what's going on in their life, and having, recommendations that you can offer them. So you want to make sure you have good engagement on those social media posts. And then the next strategy would be collaboration and networking. So always learning to expand your circle. Don't see other people in other companies as competition. See them as an opportunity to collaborate. So you could collaborate with like-minded professionals, people either in your industry or even people not in your industry, but have a, direct relation to maybe what your products or services are. So, an example that I thought of is, let's say you were in a makeup company and you did a collaboration with maybe a makeup artist, and maybe the makeup artist is not necessarily in the network marketing industry. They just do their own thing, but they might have some really great tips that they could share with your audience, and you guys can essentially just expand your reach. The two of you, it's mutually beneficial, right? That's why you have to see it as an opportunity and not a competition, right? You could share your guys' audience. Maybe your audience will learn something from the makeup artist that they never knew about. That could bring her new business. And vice versa, right? Maybe her audience is going to learn something from you. Maybe your makeup is going to be something that's really suitable for them, and they might come to you. So sharing your audience and finding people, like-minded people where you could do collaborations, whether that be through online events. Maybe it's an in-person event where you actually go into a salon, or whatever it is, go into a spa and then have like a little sharing table for anyone coming in that day. Like there's so many fun ways to collaborate with people that could help expand your network. And just, that your ideal client is going to be in that area. So find those opportunities for yourself, and discover people who share customers with you that have similar pain points, and maybe you guys can help benefit each other. And then my last strategy tip for you guys when it comes to attracting your ideal audience is, and we've talked about this all throughout this episode, but just providing value. Always offer value first. Don't go in just trying to sell a product. Don't go into a conversation. Don't go into like writing your post, just trying to sell the product. Like really go into it just trying to push value over anything. Focus on building relationships, focus on nurturing your audience before selling. You'll be surprised how naturally and easily it comes when you just take that extra ounce of patience to actually get to know somebody, actually get to know their pain points, get to know what they struggle with. And a lot of people are, genuinely curious as well about you, and they're going to ask what you do and, what you offer and what your products are all about. And it's, very much a two-way street when you just take that extra ounce of patience to get to know somebody on a deeper level. And just remember that curiosity sells. So when you could put out a post that creates curiosity, people are going to ask questions. You don't have to go to them and ask them if they need your product. Like people are going to show genuine interest, and you're going to create those opportunities for yourself just by providing value and having a kind heart and just have genuine interest in people's lives and what they're doing. So I hope those tips found you well, and I'll pass it back over to Dracy to close us off.
Teisha, those were amazing tips. And I can just imagine somebody right now leaning in, listening to us, is somebody who definitely wants to supercharge their network marketing business. And as we talked about that, it talks about you creating a powerful brand. And so if you're listening right now and you have no idea where to start to create this personal brand, or maybe you're actually hiding behind your network marketing company's brand and you're ready to finally establish yourself as an authority of your field. I know this industry can be incredibly overwhelming. We talk about it. It's easy to get overwhelmed and you become frozen. And you just want to start attracting your ideal client. And to do that, you need to level up and let go of that fear. Sometimes even this social media can be that you're sick and tired of spending hours and hours to grow your social media, and you just want to start learning to post with purpose. Or even you just want to spend less time on social media and more effective time connecting and engaging with your ideal client. Well, you guys, that's why Teisha and I actually put together our 5 simple steps to unwrap your brand, to just simplify it, get yourself started. If you're just starting right now, especially gearing up into this holiday season, why not start now? It's super easy, super fun. So we want to give you a freebie. So the action we're asking you to take is check out our show notes. You will see, you can just click the link and you are going to get our little freebie, a super simple guide on unwrapping your brand. And if you want to take it next level, if you're not following us on social media, go and follow us on social media so you can see the content that we are sharing, how we post with purpose, and how there's a brand strategy and topics that we have that are around these things that we're just talking about right now, branding and social media. So we hope it helps you. And even further, if you want to take that third step, is join our Facebook group. So we hope you have enjoyed this. Please like it, comment, subscribe. And if you're tuning or listening in, we'd love a 5-star review. Thank you so much, Teisha. It's always a lot of fun and pleasure to be doing these podcasts with you. So Thanks, everybody. And we'll stay tuned for next week.
Okay, bye, guys.